right? And so
Tech job.
it's always the same link. Is that
I
right?
told Jeff, I said, the only way I'll volunteer.
So they can't hear us up here, right?
No, I'm gonna use a microphone that he's Mike's gonna be down there yelling, doing all of his mic stuff.
Doing the mic stuff.
Yeah.
I should, you know what?
I just want to make sure I don't ruin your party.
I should sit on the bench with the coaches and the players.
Mike, you're allowed.
Come on, there it is.
Favorite team?
Yeah, we could have mic'd up like in the like they do in the NHL.
Right.
Put that on and see if
Yeah, that'll.
Team in red doesn't Mike?
talk to it.
Yeah, just testing. Yeah, it looks like it's got a good reception. I was just gonna take a look at we know which one of these it's got to be power, right? Oh no, that's power right there.
What is that? Oh, that.
Is that the?
1 2 1 2. Nope, that didn't do it. What's that red for now? 1 2 1 2.
That's got to be the mute, right? It's just it's still receiving. It's just the red probably is
Yeah,
not.
so it's the red button.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll go with that. I'm gonna put it on mute for right now.
Record. Okay. What we need to do now, I need to check the stream, see if Ashley's doing something.
Yeah, and it should be the same link every time, right?
To this channel. And then you
To
have
the
to look at
channel.
the
Yeah.
I think he just doesn't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they need somebody for the penalty box.
Yeah. I won't do that and try to run my mouth the whole game as well. That probably wouldn't be good for the kids.
Get somebody for the penalty box.
You are not muted.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So that's not mute. Well, I tell you what,
I wonder if I can do this. I can do this.
yeah, you can mute it on there.
You're home, right? Yeah. You're across from guests. Okay. Just thought I was losing my mind. Oh, I love you. Oh, yay. Oh, and it's already warm.
It was sitting in the truck in the sun.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they're
Yeah, they'll switch
Yeah.
places, but this is their permanent locker room here.
I know.
Yeah. So
When did they move here?
just this season.
Oh, they were up by.
They were at Family Sports Center, which is South
Peoria?
Denver. I think it's considered Centennial.
Centennial.
Yeah,
What
but
happened
so. Good afternoon, Rampage family, and welcome to Big Bear Ice Arena, home of the Colorado Thunderbirds. Fifth game of the season for the Rampage boys. First game against an in-state rival, the Colorado Thunderbirds. We're trying something new today. We've got a camera running from upstairs, and I've got a lapel mic downstairs. Hopefully the sound quality will be okay and you guys will be able to hear me and everything will work out well. There aren't a lot of good spots to film from in this building, unfortunately. So we're going to do the best we can. And meanwhile, I'm standing down here on the glass by myself talking to all of you. So I imagine I look a little bit crazy to anybody who's in the rink today. But the boys coming in today off of a, they had a rough weekend, the first weekend out, made some improvements. There have been some things that they struggled with a little bit in that first weekend that they worked on in practice the last couple of weeks. So I'm, hopeful and just looking forward to having a good game today. I know we've got, I believe we have a fully healthy team right now, and I know Coach has been working hard with them to, work on different aspects of the game, and just hoping for a really good game today. I imagine this will be a well-fought battle. This Colorado Thunderbirds and the Colorado Rampage are the two longest-running AAA teams in the state of Colorado. So they this is a rivalry that goes back a long time. But yeah, so it should be a good game today. We also are in a similar boat in the sense that both of our teams were. There was an attempt to remove both of our teams from existence by another one of by the newest AAA club in the state of Colorado, and some rather ridiculous, partnerships and favoritism from the Kaha governing board. So I'm just gonna leave it at that and tell you that we've got a lot in common. I know since there's a little bit of kinship between our two teams, as we have a common enemy right now, but nonetheless, I do expect that we're gonna come out here and play hard, and expect it to be a good game. So let's hope that's what we see. I'm also standing in a spot where I can't see the entire ice, although I'm not sure that there's a spot where you can see all of the ice in this rink. But right now I'm standing in a spot where I can't see everything, so I'll do the best I can to let you guys know what's going on. Being the broadcaster guy sometimes can be a lonely job because whoever's holding the microphone, no one wants to stand too close or be heard out over the live stream, which I totally understand, but it does make it funny for me while I'm standing out here watching games. Do appreciate everybody for tuning in today. I believe that we will do our broadcast. Jeff and I will do our broadcast again for tomorrow's game as well. I have not heard or seen that there's any schedule for Rampage TV to do tomorrow's game, which would be the only reason we wouldn't. So unless I hear something different, you can expect to see us all over again back down in Monument tomorrow at, I believe it's 12:15, noon 15 Colorado time tomorrow. All right, boys are doing their little huddle up before the game gets started here. Collecting the pucks, talking to each other. Hopefully everybody's pumped up, ready to go. Nice hefty rampage cheer by the boys as they're getting ready to head back over to the bench and get ready to start period number 1. 17 minutes on the clock. Pucks being collected. Out on the ice to start period number 1. It looks like we've got Whitted, Sarver, Drexel, Merrill, and Gudonis. And Liam Holmes will be in between the pipes today as our goaltender. All right. Group is out on the ice, ready to start. A lot of these kids out here from both teams know each other from years and years of playing hockey in Colorado. All right, here we go. Face off, period number 1. Rampage win the draw. Drexel's going to dump it into the zone. Sarver's going in, chase after it. Puck back behind the net, gets center up to the near side. Picked off at the point. Whitted throws it in from the side. Goaltender makes a save. He hangs on. We'll get a face off in the Thunderbird zone. Same crew out as before. Rampage win the draw. Come back to the point. Gudana sends it in from the point wide of the net. Ends up on the near side wall where I can't see it. Tied up down in the corner. Gets dumped down low and back behind the net. T-Birds have it. They're going to send it up to the far side out of the zone. This ought to go for icing, and does. We get a whistle. Face-off will be back in the Thunderbird zone with 16:27 left in period number 1. Fresh skaters on the ice. We've got Whittingham, Wilton, Roberts, Bisley, and Huff. Rampage wins the draw. Back to the corner. Huff sends it over to Wilton on the wall. He gets his feet taken up from under him. The puck gets flipped up and hits outside on the bench and out of play. So face-off will stay in the Thunderbird zone. T-Birds win the draw. Send it back into the corner. Gets tied up. Rampage jump on it. Whittingham's in there. He's got Roberts, pulls it out from behind. He's skating back behind the net with it. He's got a player on. Puck comes back the other way. Whittingham is there. Dumps it back. Wilton tries to turn it around in front. I don't think it made it through, and now T-Bird's coming up and out of the zone with it. Through neutral ice, into the Rampage zone. Shot taken. Holmes turns that aside and sends it in the corner. T-Birds feed it back to center, try to make a move, loses the handle on the puck. Puck comes up and not out of the zone. T-Birds turn around, hold it in the zone. Bisley has to skate back to pick it up. He turns, sends it up and out of the zone. I believe that's going to go for icing, and it does. We get a whistle. Face-off will be back in the Rampage zone. 15:30 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Rahosian. Sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing numbers through here. T-Birds win the draw, comes up to the point, sends back down again. Gudanis gets there, sends it around the wall to the far side. Just a little bit of a whiff on it. Puck comes back and now goes to the far wall. Gudanis sends it around to the near side and back again. Puck right out front. Save made by Liam Holmes. A follow-on shot. He's got it in his glove. He's going to hang on to it. All right. Looks like just as I was figuring out who was out there, we're changing some people up. We've got Bender, Jones, King, Gudanis, and Espirito. T-Birds win the draw. Back to the point. Shot taken from up high. Hits a body in front. And now the puck gets dumped and cleared. It's going to go the distance, and we have an icing whistle. Face-off will be back in the Rampage zone with 14:56 left in period number 1. Same crew out as before. Bender, Jones, King, Espirito, and Gudanis. T-Birds win the draw, send it around, shot goes wide of the net, down low, T-Birds pick it up. Move made, shot I think gets blocked wide of the net, picked up by Ian King. He turns, he's gonna chip it up and out of the zone. That's gonna go the distance. We'll have another whistle for icing, and the faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone with 14:36 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, Drexel, Whitted, Sarver, Merrill, and Bisley. Tied up on the draw. Back into the corner. Rampage sent it up the wall, but not out. T-Birds dump it back in. Bisley has to get there behind his own net. He's going to skate to the far side. Chips it up, not quite out of the zone, and now it's out. Drexel's going to pick it up. He turns skates and sends it into the Thunderbird zone. Sarver gets chased down to the corner. Drexel's there with him. Can't see the puck, and T-Birds are going to chip it up and out of the zone. Not enough on it for icing. Merrill has to send it across to the far side. Down into the corner now, back behind the Rampage net. Whitted sends it up the boards, but not out. And then it comes back, and now back to Merrill. He's going to skate it out of the zone into the T-Bird zone with it. Takes the far side, takes a shot. Goaltender's going to hang on to it. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle when all is said and done. Out on the ice, we've got Wilton, Whittingham, Roberts, Gudanis, and Huff. Rampage win the draw, comes back to Gudanis. He sends it just wide of the net, ends up in the far corner. And we got a whistle, but I didn't hear what it was, or I didn't see what it was for, but we have a stoppage. It's incredibly difficult to see through the glass here. May have gone up into the netting, I'm not sure. T-Birds win the draw, ends up down in the corner. Feed out front by Whittingham. The puck's going to end up on the far side and out of the zone. T-Birds into the Rampage zone with it. They're going to take the far wall. Get tied up down low. Puck comes up and held in the zone. Thunderbirds try to send a shot, goes off a body, stays down low in the corner. Whittingham gets there. He's going to send it off the wall on the far side. Takes a weird bounce. Roberts tries to shovel it out. And I believe we have a penalty coming to the Thunderbirds, I think, based on who touched it when the whistle blew. So with 13:06 left in period number 1, Rampage are going to go on the power play for the first time this game. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Sarver, Whitted, Bisley, and Espirito. Tied up. T-Birds win the draw. Rampage are going to get there. T-Birds send it up to the point, and Espirito has to wrangle it in. He has to skate it out of the zone. Rampage have to tag up. Back to Espirito. Cross to Sarver. Sarver's going to skate it and dump it into the zone and give chase. He follows it into the corner. Drexel's there with them. Puck tied up down low. Comes up the near side, and I can't see it. Puck goes around to the far side corner. Drexel's there. Does a little bit of battle. He's got Whitted in there with him, tied up with a couple of Thunderbirds players. Puck's in down low. Comes back up to the point. Espirito holds it in. He turns and sends it. Goes off a body wide of the net. Ends up at the near side. Bounces back behind the net and into the far side corner. Drexel's going to get there. He sends it up to Espirito at the point. Espirito over to Sarver. Sarver skates in, takes a shot at Johnny Sarver from the top of the circle. Buries a power play goal, making the score 1-0 with 12:11 left in period number 1. Old Johnny Two Guns. Rampage up 1-0 on the power play goal to Johnny Sarver. 12:11 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Rohosian, McManus, Foster, Gudanis, and Merrill. Rampage win the draw, comes back the other way, have to wrangle it in, send it back over to Merrill on the near side. Merrill's going to turn, skates with it back into his own zone. He's got a man on him, gets pinned down in the corner. T-Birds with the takeaway. Shot taken, goes off a body, doesn't make it through. Secondary shot, Holmes with the save. Puck bounces up and is now out of the zone. Foster had it on his skates. Little back and forth, it's going to get chipped into the Thunderbird zone. Down deep back behind their net. T-Birds are going to send it up and out of the zone now. They've got it skating through neutral into the Rampage zone with it. Takes a shot from up high, sails up and over the net. Gudanis gets there on the far side wall, sends it up to Rohosian. Rohosian skating into the zone with it, sends it wide of the net, ends up the near side corner in the Thunderbird zone. Thunderbirds have it back behind their own net. They're going to send it up to the far side wall. Hit taken, and the puck is still in the zone for now. A little bouncing around, and Thunderbirds are going to clear. They send it into the Rampage zone. Huff sends it off the boards and out of the zone. Thunderbirds coming back in. They have to hold up to avoid the offside penalty. Sawyer Jones sends it up off the wall. Bender picks it up. He's going to skate with it. He's back to Jones on the far side. Jones takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. It ends up back behind the net. Sawyer Jones picks it up. He skates it up the near side, and now the puck is back behind the net. I believe it's on a T-Bird player's stick. Puck still in the zone for now, right in the spot where I can't see very well. And now it's going to come out and clear the zone. Bisley has to hustle to get back to it in his own zone with it. He drops it to the near side, and now it comes up to Sawyer Jones, who's skating through neutral with it. He takes the red line and dumps it and goes for a change. Thunderbirds send it into the Rampage zone now. Udonis is going to pick it up back behind the net. He skates to the far side and changes directions for Espirito. Espirito sends it up, comes off the boards, and now to a Thunderbirds player. Makes a shot. Liam Holmes with the save. Point blank shot. Nice save by Mr. Holmes. Thunderbirds have it back in neutral. They turn and dump it. Goes off a body. It ends up back in the zone. Comes back up again, and now out of the zone where Whittingham's going to send it over to Merrill. Merrill back to Whittingham, just misses the pass. It bounces off the wall. T-Birds coming back 2-on-1 into the Rampage zone now. Shot taken, and Thunderbirds with a goal. So with 9:25 left in period number 1, Thunderbirds are going to put a tying goal on the board, making the score 1-1. Out on the ice, Drexel, Whitted, Sarver, Merrill, and Huff. Thunderbirds win the draw. Skate to the far side, chip it up into the Rampage zone. And they get there, back behind the net, send it up top. Johnny Sarver's got it. He sends it off the boards to Drexel. Gets caught up at neutral ice, a little back and forth. T-Birds have the puck back. They send it to the far side and dump it into the Rampage zone. Back behind the net, Huff's going to have to pick it up. He turns around, sends it up the boards to the near side. Puck off the boards and not out. Huff's going to send it around the boards on the far side now. T-Birds get there and keep it in the zone. Merrill sends it around on the near side. Puck gets chipped up and out of the zone. T-Birds player has it on their stick. They're going to have to skate back into their own zone with it. Turn and back into the Rampage zone now, and they'll go for a change. Merrill picks it up back behind his own zone. He's going to skate with it. I'm sorry, that's Bazilli. He takes the red line, dumps it into the Thunderbird zone. Puck goes around off of a skate and up into the Thunderbirds bench. Face-off, I believe, will be just outside the Thunderbird zone. And it is. Out on the ice, we've got Rahojian, McManus, Foster, Espirito, and Bisley. A little too much pushing and shoving before the face-off, so Rampage have to change out a player. T-Birds win the draw. They send it off the near side boards, up off the wall, and into the Rampage zone with it. Puck comes up, but not out of the zone. Espirito's going to pick it up down low. He turns and sends it up the far side. Foster's got it. He chips it out of the zone, and now it comes out to center. Thunderbirds get there, skate back into their own zone with it. They turn it and change direction. Sawyer Jones is in there to tie a player up, and the Thunderbirds are going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Gudanis has to go get it in the far side corner. He sends it cross ice, tipped off of a stick and into the Thunderbird zone, and they waved off icing, so play will continue. Thunderbirds send it the distance. That should be icing, and is. We get a whistle. We'll have a face-off back in the Thunderbird zone with 7 minutes and 36 seconds left in period number 1. Out on the ice, King, Jones, Bender, Merrill, and Gudanis. Tied up on the draw. Thunderbirds are going to get there first, but Rampage are in. Keep it tied up against the wall on the far side in the Thunderbird zone. Little back and forth, still in the zone. Gets dumped to center, and now the T-Birds are going to send it up and out. Puck comes back into the Rampage zone. Gudanis has to get there. Sends it over to Jones behind his own net. He sends it up to Bender. Puck not out of his zone. Thunderbirds send it in on net. Holmes stops it. And now Gudanis has to send it over to the near side. Back to Jones, who's going to chip it up and out of the zone. Back to the Thunderbirds. They turn and send it in on net. Another shot on goal. Holmes makes a save. Whittingham's going to kick it out into neutral ice. Good chase. Puck in the Thunderbird zone. And Roberts jumps in and keeps it in down low. Back behind the net. He's doing battle with a couple of T-Birds players there. Puck comes to the near side wall where I can no longer see it. Whittingham chips it back in from the point. I think maybe it went into the netting, but as I said, I can't see it. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in period number 1. The score is 1-1. Wilton, Whittingham, Roberts, Bisley, and Huff on the ice. Jumped on the face-off a little bit, so it's getting held up at neutral ice there, just tied up. It's anybody's puck. Wilton gets his skates taken out from under him from behind. Takes exception to that. T-Bird send it across ice and into the zone on net. Puck comes up. Whittingham's going to send it up and out. And Rampage have a penalty coming to them, and they're going to touch up. So with 6:01 left in period number 1, Rampage are going to be on the penalty kill. I was looking away from it, so I missed the call. Not sure if it was a roughing. There's a little bit of a tussle at middle ice away from the puck. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Gudanis, Whitted, and Bisley. T-Birds win the draw. Back to the point. They're going to send it across to the near side. Shot taken. Holmes with the save. T-Birds with it. They recollect. Skate the wall. Send it across to the far side point. Shot goes in, but not on net. Doesn't quite make it through. T-Birds pick it up down low. We send it around to the near side. Back again to the near side wall. Good body in the way by Gudanis. Drexel's going to turn and fire, and that'll be icing. And we'll have a face-off in the Rampage zone with 5:35 left in the period. 1:35 on the penalty. Looks like we've got Whitted, Drexel, Espirito, and Merrill on the ice. T-Birds come up with it on the draw, send it up to the point. Takes a shot, goes off a body, and Holmes with the save. He's going to hang on. So we get another face-off right back where we just were. Tied up on the draw. Still right at the center. Whitted turns and fires at the distance on net to avoid the icing. Play will continue. T-Bird send it up and out of the zone, their own zone. They turn, working to advance into the Rampage zone now. And now Foster turns and sends it up and out of the zone. That one's going to go for icing, and we'll have a face-off back in the Rampage zone. 5:08 in period number 1 and 1 minute and 8 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Rampage boys. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Sarver, Merrill, and I can't see our other defenseman that's closest to me. And a quick shot off the face-off that catches the far corner. So with 5:01 left in period number 1, on a power play goal to the Thunderbirds, T-Birds are going to go up 2-1. Out on the ice, we've got Bender, King, Jones, Gudanis, and Huff. T-Birds win the draw. They're going to send it back into their own zone, up but not out. Jones wrangles it in, takes a quick shot, goes just wide of the net. Bender with the follow. And now T-Birds coming up and out of their own zone, send it across to the far side. Gudanis gets there, and they're gonna call an interference penalty. I don't like that one. I don't like that call. Not what they did. Both skaters were skating in the same direction, back towards where they thought the puck was. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter what I think. 4:43 left in period number 1. Rampage are going to go back on the penalty kill. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Merrill, and Bisley. T-Birds win the draw up to the point. Back again. Shot gets deflected up and over, ends up in the far corner. Comes up to the point. T-Birds are going to walk the blue line, send it back down to the near side wall. They're holding up, send it up to the blue line. Back down low, up to the point on the far side to center. Shot taken, goes wide of the net. T-Birds have it down low in the corner. They're going to send it up to neutral and then down and then back across to the far side corner. Back up to center ice on the blue line. Far side point, shot taken, gets through, and Holmes makes a save, and then it comes right back to him. He makes a second save. T-Birds send it down low on the near side. Back again to the far side and back again to the near side. T-Birds holding up, taking their time. Rampage penalty killers giving them a little too much space for my comfort. Puck ends up wide of the net. Whitted's got it on his stick. He's going to skate with it and then chip it up and out and go for a change. That has the distance, and so we're going to get an icing whistle based on somebody that was skating as slowly as humanly possible, so he couldn't get there. 3:34 left in the period and 52 seconds left of penalty kill time for the Rampage. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Roberts, Espirito, and Gudanis. And I'm standing just in the wrong spot. The ref keeps coming and standing in front of me. Rampage pick it up. Gudanis has it back behind his own net. He's going to try to chip it up in neutral ice out of the zone, wide of the net, and that's going to go for icing. 44 seconds left on the PK, 3:26 in the period. Whittingham, Roberts, Gudanis, and Espirito. Comes up to a T-Birds player on the draw. Skate it, drop it down low, work the wall, send it across to the far side. Back down low again, up to the point. Back down low again. T-Birds across to neutral ice, off of a stick. It ends up on the near side wall. They keep it in the zone, are going to dump it down low. Roberts doing battle on the near side wall. T-Birds with it. They're down low. Feed it back behind the net now. Back up to the far side point. It bounces over a stick and out of the zone. T-Birds have to tag up. They do so. They send it back into the Rampage zone and chase it down. Puck ends up on the near side wall. T-Birds with it. They skate the blue line, send it across to the far side wall. They're going to wrangle it back in. Dump it down low back behind the net. Back to Gudanis. He sends it around the boards to the other side. Roberts is there, but gets tied up by a couple of T-Birds players. And now the puck comes up. Rampage are back at full strength. Foster skates out of the zone with it. He's through neutral into the T-Bird zone. McManus is in there as well. Puck comes out to neutral. Rahosian skating. I'm sorry, that was Merrill skating in. And now Rahosian's back in his own zone with it. He turns with it. He's going to change direction, skate the other way. Out of the zone, takes the red line, and dumps it in. Puck back behind the T-Birds net. And it appears that one of our players potentially checked the T-Birds goaltender. I'm going to just guess that I didn't see that correctly. All right. Really big hit from behind into the boards, behind our net. No penalty. Rahosian skating out of the zone. Bisley comes in, takes a shot. And Foster gets tangled up with a player in front of the T-Birds net after the whistle. .138 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got, looks like we've got a penalty coming to, they're giving 1 to each, looks like, 1 to each. So it'll be even from what I can tell, or maybe not. They're putting penalties up on the board, but that was just offsetting. So we'll stay 5-on-5. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Sarver, Bisley, and Merrill. Rampage come up with it. Drexel turns, drops it down the wall. Sarver's down there to do battle in the corner. Puck comes to the near side wall. I can't see it, but it's still in the zone. Looks like Sarver's actually, I can't tell who had it back behind the net. Sarver's back there. Puck comes up the near side wall and out, and now T-Birds clear the zone with it. They take the red line and dump it in. Merrill has to hustle back. Puck tied up on the far side. The whole melee of players. Puck's in the Rampage zone. And puck gets sent around to the other side. Merrill tries to change direction. Now Whitted's in there. He gets tied up with a T-Birds player. Puck comes to the other side. T-Birds have it on their stick. Send it around to the other side. Sarver's going to chip it off the wall. Drexel gets there. He skates with it. He's through neutral. He's into the T-Bird zone. Down in the near side wall. Holds it in the zone. Turns and dumps it. Whittingham's going to get there. Roberts is in there as well. Puck comes up to Huff at the point. He turns, sends a shot. I think goes off a body wide of the net. Roberts on the far side wall. He's going to turn, sends a shot that goes back behind the net now. Whittingham changes direction. And I lost sight of the puck. It's still down low. Roberts is there. He picks it up in the corner. Centering pass attempt and a backhanded shot by Wilton. And the puck was still out front when time expires on period number 1. So your score after 1 is 2-1 in favor of the Thunderbirds. Boys over there talking to coach. Hopefully he's got some advice to him, get him pumped up, get him going a little bit. In period number 1, we got pinned down in our own zone a little too much. And I said at the beginning, I thought we had all players playing, but I have figured out at least that I haven't seen Blaze Wheeler on the ice today, so I'm not sure what the story is with that. Hopefully everything's okay there, and hopefully the boys are getting fired up for period number 2. Generally speaking, to completely oversimplify everything, we need to do a little better job getting out of our zone and then keeping pressure in their zone. And they did put up a penalty on the board at the period, so it would appear that maybe the Rampage are going to start the second down a player on the PK. I'm not certain. They put one up on the board, and it may have had to do with a little scuffle after the buzzer, possibly, or maybe not, because the Rampage have 5 players on the ice. So I'm not real sure, but out on the ice we've got Sarver, Whitted, Drexel, Bisley, and Espirito. I'm sorry, they've got it on the other side. Rampage are going to be on the power play. At least there are 2 players, 2 T-Birds players in the box, and 4 skaters on the ice. So I don't know that it was super clear what was going on, but yeah. That's what same crew out as before. Rampage win the draw. Back to Esperito at the point. Turns and drops it down low. It's tied up on the near side wall. Server's in there. Can't see who else is. Comes up to Esperito. Esperito over to Bisley. Takes a shot off of a body into the corner. Whitted's down low, trying to tie it up in the corner. He's got some help. Drexel takes it out off of the stick and it bounces. And T-Birds clear it wide of the net. That's going to be icing. Face-off will come back to the T-Bird zone. 16-16 left in period number 1, and 1 minute and 17 seconds left on the penalty kill. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Whittingham, Rohosian, Merrill, and Gudanis. T-Birds win the draw. They send it up off the boards. It comes up to Merrill, the point. He turns, drops it for Whittingham. Whittingham gets tied up on the boards, and the T-Birds are going to clear. Merrill has to come back to his own zone to recollect it. Cross ice to the far side to Gudanis. And T-Birds turn and send it the distance. It's on net, so play will continue. Merrill has to go in his own zone, pick it up. Sends it over. This is Rohosian now skating with it. He's into the zone. Down low in the corner, up to Whittingham, back to Rohosian, back to Whittingham. Whittingham sends it across to Merrill. Merrill turns, drops it down low for Gudanis. Gudanis over to Whittingham. Whittingham skates to center, takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save, and then there's a follow-on attempt. Goaltender jumps on it, and then there's a little bit of a melee out in front with the whistle. Puck was loose, everybody was going after it, and then things get a little bit chaotic and hectic, as we see quite often. So we have a stoppage. We'll have a face-off in the Rampage zone. I'm sorry, in the T-Bird zone, 15:29 left in the period, and 30 seconds left on the power play for the Rampage. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Whittingham, Rohosian, Merrill, and Gudanis. T-Birds win the draw. Back into the corner. They're going to send it around to the far side. Chip it up off the wall. That's going to go the distance. That'll be icing, and we get a whistle. Face-off will be back in the T-Bird zone with 15:19 left in period number 2. Same crew out as before. Rampage win the draw up to Gudanis. Sends it. It goes off of a stick and out of the zone. Merrill has to race back for it. He turns it around. Rohosian picks it up. He tries to drop it. T-Bird's doing a good job keeping the pressure on. They keep it in the Rampage zone. Just 5 seconds left on the power play. Roberts skates with it. He's going to come out of the zone through neutral, and he proceeds the puck into the zone, but T-Bird's coming back the other way into the Rampage zone with it now. Merrill's down low in the corner, sends it up the wall, but not out. Now it's down in the corner where I can't see. It looks like Merrill sent it up the wall again. Puck's still in the zone, and now it gets cleared out to center. Rampage are going to go for a change. T-Bird's turn it around, send it back into the Rampage zone. Gudanis is back in there one-on-one in the corner with the T-Birds player. Puck gets tied up down low. Another T-Birds player rushes in, picks it up. They're back behind the net to the far side. T-Birds send it across to the near side now. Shot taken, stave made by Liam Holmes. Puck comes up to the near side, back down below behind the net. T-Bird's still with it in the Rampage zone. They're going to send it across to the near side now.
Hey, nice shoes.
Up to the point and skate to center. Player makes a move. Holmes with the save. Puck is still loose. Comes right back out front. Another shot attempt, and Holmes makes his better save. Pass sends across, and the player didn't get much on it, which is a good thing because he had some open net. Foster into the zone with it, has a little bit of space, takes a shot, goaltender makes a save for the Thunderbirds. Puck in the Thunderbird zone, and they jump on it and send it into the Rampage zone. Huff has to pick it up back behind his own net. He turns, fires a distance, gets picked off by a Thunderbirds player who holds it in the zone. Puck back behind the Rampage net. Gets deflected and comes through and now gets tipped out by Foster. Puck at center and gets sent back into the Rampage zone. Udonis is there in the far corner. He's going to try to tie the puck up. He's got McManus in there to help him out. A little chaos out in the front. Shot taken that I think went wide of the net. Now Rampage are going to try to send it up, unable to clear the zone. So Thunderbirds send it across to the far side point. Back again. Puck ends up behind the net and into the near side corner. Puck still in the Rampage zone for now. Rampage send it the distance. It goes wide of the net. We have a whistle for icing. Faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone with 12:35 left in period number 2. Score is 2-1 in favor of the Thunderbirds. Out on the ice, we've got Bender, King, Bisley, Jones, and Espirito. T-Birds win it, but Rampage try to jump on it. They clear the zone now. King's over there. He's going to send it into the Thunderbird zone. Goaltender turns and sends it up. Thunderbirds out of the zone with it now. They're through neutral into the Rampage zone. Shot taken from high, deflects wide, and into the far side corner. Thunderbirds manage to hold it, and they dump it into the near side. Bisley's in there to do battle. Lost sight of the puck. Oh, shot on goal, and Holmes with the save. He's going to hang on. Out on the ice, we've got Bender, Jones, King, Espirito, and Bisley. T-Birds jump on the puck off the face-offs to keep it in the zone. We skate to the far side, send it across. Shot taken from center. It's loose, and now the puck comes up and out of the zone. T-Birds have to recollect. They tag up, back into the Rampage zone with it, hold up at the point, send the puck across to the near side. And now Bisley's going to pick it up. He skates it out of the zone, dumps it into the Thunderbirds zone. Bender ties it up on the far side wall. He's got Drexel in there to help him out. Puck comes up to Merrill, takes a shot. Goalie makes a save. Puck comes out. T-Birds into the Rampage zone with it with a little bit of speed. Shot doesn't make it through. Comes across to the near side corner. Puck still down low in the corner. I can't see who's got it or what's going on. Looks like Whitted picks it up down low. He skates with it, bounces on him, and he clears the zone. And then T-Birds back into the zone with it. Shot taken, goes off the post. A lot of chaos out in front of the Rampage net right now. Boys need to clear it desperately. All kinds of stuff happening in the corner where I can't see a thing. We have a hand in the air, but I don't know to who or for what. So we will see in just a second. Looks like it is coming to Boone Whitted. So Rampage penalty with 10:43 left in the period. Rampage will be on the penalty kill. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Roberts, Gudonis, and Huff to start the penalty kill. 10:43 left in period number 2. And Thunderbirds with a goal. So a power play goal with 10:33 puts the Thunderbirds up 3-1. Most of the action happened down in the corner where I couldn't see. So I apologize for not telling you what I saw going on because I couldn't see anything. Out on the ice, we've got Jones, King, Bender, Dudonis, and Huff. Scores 3-1 in favor of the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds win the draw, back into their own zone with it. They're going to turn and send it off the wall into the Rampage zone and give chase. And a feed out front and another quick goal by the Thunderbirds. So with 10:23 left in the period, Thunderbirds go up 4-1. The Rampage have a lot of work to do. Out on the ice, we've got McManus, Rahosian, Foster, Bisley, and Espirito. Tied up on the draw. It's going to end up in the Thunderbird zone. They rush back for it. Send it over and back again. Whiff on the attempt to dump it, and Thunderbirds are going to skate out with it. They take the red line, dump it into the Rampage zone. Bisley has to hustle back behind the net to get there. Changes direction. Ends up in the near side corner. Tied up down low. And we've got another penalty coming to the Rampage. Nope, I'm sorry. They're sending one of each to the box, so it'll stay even with 9:57 left in the second period. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Drexel, Sarver, Udonis, and Merrill, I think. Rampage win the draw into the corner. It's down in no man's land. Puck comes up but not out. Whitted gets a stick on it. Sends it over to Sarver. Looks like the puck now finally comes out of the zone. Up into the Thunderbird zone. T-Birds are going to send it across to the far side. Steal by Whitted. He's into the zone and loses the handle. Thunderbirds turn around. They chip it up and out. Gudonis picks it up at the red line. Turns, skates with it, loses the handle. Puck comes through. Whitted picks it up. He's going to move, skate into the zone with it to center. Sends the puck down low back behind the net. T-Birds kick it into the far corner. Drexel goes to try to keep it. Puck's held in the zone. Drexel comes off the wall with it, feeds it to Sarver. Puck comes across through the crease into the near side to Drexel, who's going to turn and dump it on the wall. Puck comes back to him, but out of the zone. Drexel has to send it across to to Huff. Huff sends it across to Sarver. Puck bounces into the zone. Sarver almost gets there. And then Whittingham comes in, takes a shot that deflects up into the netting. 8:47 left in period number 2, and we should be getting pretty close to an ice cut. I think it's with less than 8.5, if I remember correctly. Out on the ice, we've got Wilton, Whittingham, Roberts, Huff, and Merrill. Rampage win the draw, comes up to Bisley, I'm sorry, I thought that was Merrill. That's Bisley. Dumps it in, puck to the near side. Tied up in the corner, I can't see. It is anybody's guess whose puck this is going to be. Puck comes out front, and Wilton with a really quick shot. Nick Wilton picks it up right out in front of the goaltender and buries it stick side. So with 8:26 left in period number 2, Rampage closed the gap to 2 on a goal by Nick Wilton. And I do believe we should go into the ice cut now. It does look like they're signaling that they're going to go for the ice cut. Well, I don't know what's going on here because refs are yelling at players. A lot of chaos. I don't know what that was all about, but yes, they are indeed going to the ice cut. So I'm gonna go Yeah. All right, folks, welcome back. We've got 8 minutes and 26 seconds left in period number 2. Coming off of a Rampage goal, cutting the lead down to 2 goals now. Scores 4-2 in favor of the Thunderbirds. And Rampage they've got a lot of time, but they really need to just make some changes, make some improvements, and pick things up for the second half of this game. So let's hope that we see them coming out with a lot of energy right out the gate and close out the second half of this period strong. All right, getting ready to go for the second half of this game. Boys huddling up, getting ready to go. All right, let's see who we've got. To start the second half of this second period, which is such a weird thing to say. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Sarver, Drexel, Merrill, and Gudanis. Of course, Liam Holmes in net. Rampage win the draw. Back to Gudanis. He's going to skate it. He skates it into the zone, takes the near side. Puck gets chipped up, and then Whitted's going to dump it. On the near side wall, T-Birds send it across to the far side. Out of the zone with it, T-Birds are going to skate. They're into the Rampage zone. Puck back behind the net. In the far side corner, Merrill sends it up the wall, goes through the skates, and held at the point. T-Birds dump it back in. Puck gets chipped up, but not out. T-Birds still with it in the Rampage zone. Puck ends up in the far side, centering pass. Little bouncing around, and now Gudanis has it. He sends it up, and T-Birds turn around and send it back the other direction. Back across to Merrill on the far side. Back to Sarver. Sends it up to Drexel, deflects it. The puck bounces off to center. T-Birds send it out of the zone. Gudanis chips it back the other way. He's going to skate it. Goes into the Thunderbird zone back down low. Puck gets tied up down low by Nick Wilton in the far side. Roberts is in there. Takes a shot to the face mask. Thunderbird sitting around on the near side wall. Chip it up and out of the zone. That's going to go the distance. And we get a whistle for icing. 7:11 left in period number 2. Faceoff will be back in the Thunderbird zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Wilton, Roberts, Huff, and Bisley. Tied up on the draw. Puck ends up down in the corner. Oh, comes up, just goes past Bisley, and he manages to hold it in the zone. Puck bounces up, a little back and forth. Puck still in the Thunderbird zone for now. Down low in the corner, Whittingham's in there. Roberts holds it and sends it back into the corner. Bounces back behind the Thunderbird's net. They're going to send it up the near side wall. Off with a big hit. And the puck doesn't have enough for icing in the Rampage zone now. Across to the far side, Bisley sends it through, doesn't connect, and that's going to go for icing. So we get a whistle. Faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone with 6:27 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, McManus, Rohosian, Gudanis, and Espirito. Tied up on the draw. Thunderbirds send it to the point, dump it back in again. Rohosian puts it on a stick and clears the zone with it. Foster has to come back for it, and he's going to send it into the Thunderbird zone. Puck back behind the net. Foster's in there doing battle in the corner. He's got McManus, picks it up. He turns it, dumps it back into the corner where Foster is. Puck tied up. Stings in the zone momentarily, and now it comes out with a clear. And then the Thunderbirds are going to skate it and dump it into the Rampage zone. They're down low with it. Rahosian sends it up. Puck goes across to the far side. Espirito's going to get there. He sends it around the boards to the near side. And Rahosian pulls it off the wall, turns. Rahosian and Gudanis look like they maybe ran into each other. Puck bouncing out front. And now Foster's going to pick it up high. He takes the red line and tries to dump it. Goes off his body. So Thunderbird's coming back the other way. They send it across the other side. A little back and forth at neutral ice. And now Rahosian's going to pick it up. And poke check. Thunderbirds come back the other way. They take the red line. They're going to dump it and go for a change. Espirito picks it up behind his own net, sends it over the near side. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Thunderbirds have to regroup. They turn and send it back in. Everybody apparently tagged up. Puck comes back up, out again. And sent back in and then out of the zone. Back into the Thunderbird zone. Play will continue. No icing as it was deflected. Thunderbird sent it to the far side wall. Jones pinching in, keeps it in the zone. King is back behind the net. The puck comes to the near side wall. Off the wall. Bender picks it up. And puck comes out of the zone. Jones trying to hold the blue line, but he was just a little too far out. So we'll have a face-off just outside the Thunderbird zone. On the ice, we've got Bender, King, Jones, Bisley, and Merrill. All right, a little too much action right here before the face-off. Both players get tossed. Tied up on the draw. Thunderbirds get to it. They're going to skate it into the Rampage zone. Send it up. And now out. Thunderbirds recollect it. Neutral. They turn around with it. Back into the Rampage zone. Up to the point. Thunderbirds still in the Rampage zone with it. They're on the far side wall. Jones in there tries to tie a player up. He's got Bender to help him out. Puck comes across to the near side, and Thunderbirds dump it. Down low in the near side corner in no man's land where I can't tell you what's going on. I'm hearing a lot of noise, and the puck comes up out of the zone. Thunderbirds collect in their own zone, regroup, send it to the far side, chip it into the Rampage zone. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Thunderbirds send it across to the far side, poke check. And Thunderbirds get it back. They come into the zone with it. Let's get in the zone, shot taken. I think Liam got a piece of it. It ended up in the near side corner. Back out to center, shot taken, body in the way, ends up in the far corner. And puck comes up and out of the zone. And now Sawyer Jones takes an elbow to the helmet, into the boards. Take your pick. That's only about 3 different penalties there that one could be called. They at least did get the elbow. That actually should be a 2 and 10 with an elbow combined with the boarding, in this humble broadcaster's opinion. But as we know, it doesn't matter what I think. 3:08 left in period number 2. Rampage are going on power play. We've got Drexel, Whitted, Sarver, Espirito, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Back to Espirito at the point. He sends it across to Bisley on the far side. Bisley sends the puck, goes just wide of the net. Whitted gets tied up on the boards. He picks it up. Whiffs on the pass, now sends it over to Espirito, who holds it at the blue line. Sarver has to come back, pick it up, sends it across the far side. Feeds it back down low again into the corner. Whitted's going to get there. He turns with it, makes a move towards the goaltender. Puck goes back behind the net and comes up the wall. Bisley's got it on the far side. He turns, he dumps it, goes after it, and now T-Birds are going to chip it up and out. Espirito has to pick it up. He skates back into his own zone, sends a pass, gets deflected, and ends up back in the Rampage zone. And the T-Birds turn and dump it into the Rampage zone, back into the corner. Bisley drops it for Espirito. He's going to pick it up. He skates out of the zone with it, sends it across to Whitted. Whitted makes a move. He's into the zone, takes the wall, drops it for Drexel. Drexel feeds it across the center. Sarver was there, Espirito was there, but couldn't quite connect. Puck comes across to Gudanis at the point. Goody feeds it down low into the corner and back to him. Shot taken from up high. Goalie makes a save, and the puck comes and gets cleared all the way back out. Gudanis has to race to get back there. Drexel picks it up. He's going to turn and skate with it. Skates through neutral, takes the red line, and then dumps it into the zone. And now the Thunderbirds are going to chip it up and out the distance. No icing. Play will continue. Merrill's going to get there. Feeds it up to Wilton, who drops it for Rahosian. Skates through. Gudanis feeds it down low into the corner. Goes back behind the net. Whittingham's there to pick it up. Wilton picks it up off the boards back behind the net. He's going to feed it to the far side, up to the point. Back down to him. Wilton takes a shot. Goes. The goaltender makes a save. Ends up in the far corner. Wilton pulls it out. Up to Gudanis. Gudanis makes a move. And Thunderbirds are back at full strength, coming back the other way into the Rampage zone with it. Pass goes across to the far side. Tied up. Dropped for Whittingham, who makes a move and gets it out of the zone. Thunderbirds coming back. Too many men on the ice, but none of them touched it, so I suppose that's okay. Puck comes up and into the Thunderbird zone. Whittingham's there on the ground and feeds the puck out in front of the goaltender from the ice. We lost about 2 seconds on the late clock stop after the whistle. 31.2 seconds left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, McManus, Rahosian, Huff, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Huff's going to get there. Chips it down low into the corner. Puck back behind the T-Birds net. Back again. Puck fed out from down low. Back into the Rampage zone. McManus has it on the near side. Turns and sends it. It deflects off of the stick. It deflected off of the stick, but they're going to call icing. So with 8 seconds left, faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone. Scores 4-2 in favor of the Thunderbirds. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Sarver, Whitted, Bisley, and I can't tell who our other defenseman is right now. Tied up on the draw, a little chaos. Rampage are going to pick it up, send it around to the far side, comes up and out of the zone, and that will do it for time for period number 2. So your score after 2 is 4-2 in favor of the Thunderbirds. 1 period to go. Rampage have a 2-goal deficit to dig themselves out of. We saw a little more pressure by the Rampage boys in that second half of that second period. Hopefully they'll continue to build that momentum and keep that going. Some decent movement and control on the power play. Power plays that we've had, albeit few of them. And like I said, hopefully we can just build in a little bit of momentum, really start creating some scoring chances, clearing it out of our zone quickly. All right, coach talking to him. Giving a little Rampage huddle just prior to period number 3. And here we go. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Whitted, Drexel, Merrill, and Gudanis. tied up on the draw. Thunderbirds come up with it. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Merrill's got to hustle back into his own zone, back behind the net. He's got a body on, gets tied up down low. Thunderbirds change direction, go to the far side corner with it. Send it up high. Shot. Goes off a body, ends up in the far corner. Udonis is going to shovel it over to this side. Puck comes up the wall and now gets sent up and out of the zone. Thunderbirds have to regroup. They've got pressure on. Whitted picks it up. Can't quite wrangle it in and get a shot off. Thunderbirds send it up and it now comes out of the zone. Drexel comes back for it. He gets tied up with a player, manages to hold the puck. Whitted turns direction, gets it out of the zone, and Sarver's going to dump it into the Thunderbird zone. Thunderbird send it up the wall, up and out to Bisley, who recollects. He skates forward, sends it up towards Wilton. Sorry, couldn't tell who it was. Bisley recollects. He's going to turn it, dump it back the other way. Thunderbirds come back for it. They're in their own zone with it. Send it up and out into the Rampage zone. A little bit of back and forth. Robert's gonna send it up, and Wilton goes after it. He's into the Thunderbird zone with it. Thunderbirds get it on their stick, send it up the wall, out of the zone. Back, doesn't advance into the Rampage zone. This time, now Thunderbirds turn to dump it. Back behind the Rampage net. Huff turns and drops it the other direction. Espirito picks it up in the far corner. Sends it back behind the net to the near side. Back behind to Espirito. And puck goes up the wall to the far side. Whittingham has to get there. He skates it out of the zone. He's got a player on into the Thunderbird zone, and Thunderbirds with the takeaway coming back the other direction. Rohojan collects. He's going to send it back behind the net to the far side wall, and he makes a move. He's going to skate out of zone with it. Rohojan through neutral into the Thunderbird zone, into the zone, takes a shot. Yevgeny Rohojan gets a goal. Top corner stick side with 14:40 left in period number 3, and brings the Rampage to within 1. That being the first goal of the season for Eugene, as the boys like to call him. 14:40 left in the game. Score is 4-3. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Rohojan, McManus, Merrill, and Gudonis. Tied up on the draw. Looks like Rampage are going to get to it, send it deep into the Thunderbird zone. Puck ends up in the far corner. Amanda sends it up to Foster. Foster takes a shot. Comes up and out of the zone. Merrill has to hold it at the blue line. Reverse check by Merrill puts somebody on the ice. Gudonis back in his own zone, sends it across to the far side. Thunderbirds with a poke check. They're going to skate it in the Rampage zone now. Take the shot from up high. Deflects into the near side wall. Thunderbird skated off the wall. Out to center. Take a shot. Liam Holmes with the save. We've got some pushing and shoving coming after the whistle, and I think we're going to have a penalty. We got a linesman throwing one of our kids around because he's mad at the way the kid was talking to him. Which you can get mad at how a kid's talking to him, but as a linesman, you can't throw a 16-year-old kid around. We do have a penalty coming to Max Gudonis. One of the T-Birds players took a shot at one of our guys after the play was over. Gudonis took exception to that. And I think he was maybe doing a little arguing with the with the referee. The linesman had his hands on him and was pretty forcefully throwing him up against the the pinch wall. Does look like we're going to get a 2 and 10 out of it. Nathan Bender going to join him in the box. Serve the 2. So with 13:58 left in the game, Rampage are going on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to start the PK, we've got Whitted, Drexel, Huff, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw, back into the corner. Bisley's going to send it around the wall, comes up and out of the zone. Thunderbirds have to chase it back into their own zone and recollect. They do so down low, back behind their own net. Drex is in there, creating a little pressure to try to hold up the puck. Thunderbirds now through neutral. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Puck goes up to the point. Drexel is up there to apply pressure. Thunderbirds send it across the far side point. Back again. Shot goes off a body and ends up in the near side wall. Thunderbirds send it up to the blue line, cross to the far side. Shot taken goes wide, ends up in the near side corner. Thunderbirds send it up to the blue line, back down again on the near side wall. Puck goes off a boot, ends up in the corner, and then Drexel is going to chip it up and out. That should go for icing, and does. So with 13:06 left in the game and 1:08 on the penalty kill, faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Foster, Merrill, and Espirito. Tied up on the draw. I can't see the puck. Thunderbirds get it, send it up to the point. Send across ice to the far side point. Shot taken, goes off a body, ends up on the near side wall. Foster picks it up, he skates with it, sends it across. Whittingham's there, can't get a stick on it. Thunderbirds turn back around the other direction. Foster with a long poke check attempt and into the zone, and then Whittingham's going to send it right back out again. Thunderbirds have to recollect back in their own zone with it. Thunderbirds dump it into the Rampage zone. Puck goes to the near side wall. Thunderbirds come up, skate to the point, take a shot, goes wide of the net, ends up on the far side wall. And the Thunderbirds send it up to the point again. Cross ice to the near side, shot. Holmes gets a blocker pad on that one, sends it to the near side corner. Back up to the point, shot taken. Whittingham gets a body in front of that one, goes into the far side corner. Thunderbirds still with it. They send it around the near side. Thunderbirds hold it at the point, shot, gets deflected, doesn't make it through, I don't think. And then Rampage back at full strength and a pass attempt to try to spring Johnny Sarver coming in after the Rampage were back at full strength. Hook down low in the corner where I can't really see it. Sarver's in there, back behind the net. Quick shot attempt, and it gets deflected up, and now Thunderbirds coming back the other direction into the Rampage zone with it. Shot, and Holmes deflects it just wide. Puck tied up down low. Goes to the far wall. And then Drexel's going to send it up the near side wall. Gets caught up. And now Bisley's going to pick it up. He skates up and out of the zone with it. Takes the red line and sends it. Thunderbirds with it down deep in their zone.